The love of God is all-inclusive, but the love of God does not tolerate sin. Question: does Satan enjoy the love of God as much as the love of God for the Virgin Mary? Does God love Satan? Does God love the Virgin Mary more than Satan? No. God loves Satan perfectly. God does not love 90%. God always loves 100%. What makes the difference? The difference is in the response. The Virgin Mary gives her total, while Satan refuses and gives zero. In other words, the love of God is all-inclusive, but the love of God does not tolerate sin. Now, brothers and sisters, Holy Thursday is not just about Visita Iglesia and fasting tomorrow and Stations of the Cross, because all our Stations of the Cross, all our fastings and abstinence would come to nothing if our life is still ruled by a law that is called prejudice. If the Lord washed the feet of Judas without approving his wrongdoing, then it is our turn to remember our traitors and give them a phone call and say, peace be with you.
Tutulong ka, pero anong gusto mo? Na dahil binaril ka sa airport, pag namatay ka, may monumento ka?
There can be no real Holy Thursday unless we are ready to love all. Remember, God loves Satan. On Holy Thursday, we Catholics can start to shed down our prejudices so that those who advocate Latin in the liturgy and those who advocate vernacular in the liturgy can come together and wash one another's feet. It is time for us, for the abortionists and the pro-life demonstrators, to come together and wash one another's feet. It is time for us, for the men in Mindanao, for the men in Ilocos Sur, to come together and wash one another's feet. It is time for us, for the Iglesia ni Cristo and the Catholics and the Muslims and the Buddhists, to come together and wash one another's feet. Because at the end of it, what the Lord did at the opening of the washing of the feet is important. Knowing that he had come from the Father and he was returning to the Father. In other words, he shed off his being teacher. And he said, all of us came from the Father. All of us will return to the Father. Let us unite. The main obstacle to the celebration of Holy Thursday is our prejudiced Christianity. If God can love Judas as much as Peter, the Lord will always include and embrace and count us as belonging to Him. If we find ourselves outside His love, it is not because God kicked us out. It is rather because slowly but surely we have separated from the Lord. Little by little, by our familiarization with sin, by our friendship with sin and temptation, by our shallow excuses. The time is now for us to love like Jesus. It is not about ceremonies. It is about love. It is about forgiveness. It is about service. It is about washing one another's feet, especially the feet of our traitors, of our robbers, of our drug addicts, of the heretics, of the unbelievers, of the bashers, of the peddlers of fake news. We must love them. That is what the Lord told us.
This program is brought to you by
Mga dapat sa simbahang Katolika sa Pilipinas.